देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणे हरे कृष्णा. So now we'll switch to verse 13 and 14. So Krishna, after explaining the yoga ladder or the ladder, the different steps by which we can approach bhakti. Now, the last verse, Krishna said, like if you are detached from the material activities, then you are peaceful. And after that, now Krishna starts explaining who is actually peaceful, or actually devotees are peaceful. Then what are the qualities of devotees that attract Krishna? So let us see this verse. Adveshta sarva bhutanam
Adveshta sarva bhutanam
maitra karuna evacha
maitra karuna evacha
nirmamo nirahankaraha
nirmamo nirahankaraha
sama dukkha sukha kshami
sama dukkha sukha shami
santushtaha satatam yogi
santushtaha sadatam yogi
yatatma drudha nishchaya
yutatma dridha nishchaya
मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर
maya arpita mano buddhir
मद्भक्त समे प्रिया.
yo mad bhakta same priya.
Please chant.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukha shami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dridha nishchaya maya arpita mano buddhi yo mad bhakta same priya.
Advesta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukshukakshami santustas satatam yogi yatatma dhrita nischayah mayi arpita manobuddhi yomad bhakta same priyah.
Okay. Translation and purport. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-control, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Coming again to the point of pure devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualifications of pure devotee in these two verses. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstance, nor he is envious of anyone, nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. He thinks this person is acting as my enemy due to my own past misdeeds. So it is better to suffer that than to protest. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14, it is stated, Tatte anukampam so samikshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Whenever a devotee is in distress and has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. He thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far greater than I am suffering now. So it is by mercy of the Supreme Lord that I am not getting all punishment I am due. I am just getting a little by the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is always calm, quiet, and patient despite many distressful conditions. A devotee is always kind to everyone, even to his enemy. Nirmama means that a devotee does not attach much importance to pains and troubles pertaining to the body, because he knows perfectly well that he is not material body. He does not identify with the body, Therefore, he is freed from the conceptions of false ego and is equipoised in happiness and distress. He is tolerant. He is satisfied with whatever comes by grace of Supreme Lord. He does not endeavor much to achieve something with great difficulty. Therefore, he is always joyful. He is a completely perfectly mystic because he is fixed in the instructions received from the spiritual master. Because his senses are controlled, he is determined. He is not swayed by false argument because no one can lead him from fixed determination of devotional service. He is fully conscious that Krishna is the eternal Lord, so no one can disturb him. All these qualifications enable him to fix his mind and intelligence entirely on the Supreme Lord. Such a standard of devotional service is undoubtedly very rare, but the devotee becomes situated in the stage by following the regulative principles of devotional service. Furthermore, the Lord says that such a devotee is very dear to him, for the Lord is always pleased with all his qualities in full Krishna consciousness. So, these verses actually give this next, I think next till the end of the chapter, verses explain about the qualities, different qualities of the devotees, and who become, by which the devotee becomes dear to Krishna. So we see all these qualities. Um, each word is quality, and but it starts from Adveshta, non-enviousness. Adveshta specifically means not envious towards his enemies also. Towards friends, possible, but towards enemies also, he is not uh, angry on them or he is not envious of them also. So from there it starts. And he is Sarva Bhutana, including everyone. He is friend of everyone. He is merciful. He does not have ahankar. He looks at the happiness and distress as the same. And how this happens, actually, if we see the 13th verse, it's a progression. So if you are non-envious, then you can be friend to everyone. If you are friend to everyone, then you can be kind, and you will not have proprietorship of on everything, and you will not have ego, your own ego, and then you will be same in happiness and distress. So it starts with the non-enviousness. So in the third chapter, Krishna explained that the problem of everything in this world is envy, and the problem starts with envy. So here, if you don't have envy, then you actually develop all these qualities. And how you develop these qualities is in the 14th sloka. Santushta, he is always satisfied. Satatam yogi, he is always fixed in the devotional service. And he yatatma dhrudha nishchaya, he is also fixed in his uh, goal, uh, and he's very much determined to achieve that. Because why? Because he gives his mind and intelligence, mano buddhi, everything engaged in him. So if you see like the sequence of flow, envy is the reason for all the problems. And if you go reverse, so from Mai Arpita Mano Buddhir, Bhakta Samyapriya. So if you engage your mind and intelligence into Krishna, which was the 12.8 verse, that is the pure devotee, who engages mind and intelligence completely in Krishna. So if we engage your mind and intelligence completely thinking of Krishna, then you will be determined, then you will be continuously connected, you will be self-satisfied, and then you will not have all these problems. And so it actually defines the interdependency that so bhakti actually removes all our anarthas or all our problems. So this, and then the devotee becomes dear to Krishna. So as you go on removing all these problems, you can fix your mind. Or you fix your mind and intelligence on Krishna, then all the other problems will be solved. So like Banu Maharaj always mentions that if we have to remove one problem like envy and Sarva Bhutana Maitri, so enemy with others, and then remove our ahankar, remove our possessiveness. If we start working on one qualities, or what qualities, anarthas, bad qualities. If we have to remove one by one, it will take unlimited number of time, and it may not be possible also, because we don't know how many such qualities we have. So we will start discovering when we remove one, the other will come up. Right. So like Banu Maharaj always says, we cannot remove all those qualities, but bhakti can remove. So what we have to do, we have to be very much determined to think about Krishna and to do the devotional service. So if you are determined in that, then all the other qualities will be taken care. Because the last verse told us that if you fixed your mind and intelligence on Krishna, then you don't look for the results of your activities. You get detached and then you are peaceful. So that is the flow of the verses going on, that bhakti is the supreme path, and the person or a devotee who is trying to follow this bhakti marg is also superior to everyone, because he don't have bad qualities, and his bad qualities are automatically taken care by the bhakti. Of course, we should not do bhakti to remove our bad qualities. That's a wrong approach. That becomes offense to the holy name. So we do bhakti to please the Lord, right? And then automatically all the qualities will be taken care. We don't have to think about them. So that is the superiority of bhakti, because bhakti is nirguna. So it's beyond the gunas. So whatever the problems created by the gunas will be solved by the bhakti. And then such a devotee is very dear to Krishna. So me priya is very dear to me. Me means Krishna. So just becoming a devotee is not the end. It's the actually beginning. When we start understanding Bhagavad Gita, when we start chanting, that time is actually the beginning of our bhakti process. And then when we start, there will be so many problems coming up, because all these anarthas are there. But how we have to solve those? By Drudha Nishchaya, by continuously determined to continue in the bhakti. So then gradually we become santushta and satatam yogi. We become satisfied and we become connected with Krishna, and then the problems will be slowly taken care. So basic thing that we can actually work on is, of course, focus on Krishna and chanting and bhakti is there, but envy is the problem of all the consequent problems. So what we can actually do is accept this problem. And many times people say that I don't have ego, I don't have envy, I don't envy anyone. But that's not always true, because Bhagavad Gita don't say like that. So Bhagavad Gita says everybody has envy in some form. So we all have envy. We have to accept it. And nirahankara. So when Krishna says nirahankara, that means he knows that everybody has ahankar and we have to give up that ahankar. So ahankar means me and mine concept. When we don't have that, then it becomes easier to become nirahankar. So at least what we can do is we can accept that, okay, I have envy, I am envious, or I am jealous of some people, or I am jealous of some situations. In some certain ways, maybe very less, but it's there. And also we have this tendency to think from the perspective of me and mine. So at least when we accept these concepts, it's not a concept, it's the truth. So when we are ready to accept these truths, then actually our progress in the devotional service starts. It will not start if we say, I'm not envious, I'm not jealous, I don't have ego. Then it will not start. Because if you don't have ego, then you don't exist. Everyone exists because there is ego. And there is, so it's a truth. So, but we have to engage everything in bhakti, and then we become dear to Krishna. Not by saying that I am not envious, we will become dear to Krishna. I am envious of someone, I am envious of some situations, whatever, but I want to continue in bhakti. Why Drudha Nishchaya? That way, all these problems will be taken care, because if we Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, if we can do that, then we become detached, and then problems will be solved. And then the devotee becomes dear to Krishna. So that's why bhakti process is a continuous process. It does not mean you start chanting or you get initiated or something like that, then you become devotee. No, that is actually the beginning when we try to do bhakti. So in getting initiation or chanting certain rounds is a commitment that Krishna looks at. Yeah, this person is committed. He has Dudha Nishchaya. If we don't show the Dudha Nishchaya, then it's very difficult to Mad Bhakta Same Priya. How can we become dear to Krishna if we don't show? It's not about Krishna, it's about anyone. Like in our day-to-day life also, relationship between the peoples. If we just say things don't work, we have to act. So many times there are situations where someone will say, I think of you always. But the next person may say, how can I know if you don't talk, if you don't tell me? How can I know? So in our day-to-day life also, there is expectation to show, and to show the bhakti to Krishna is a way by doing a Drudha Nishchaya, complete determination. How can we do that? By showing our bhakti, by doing the activities in bhakti. So there will be more qualities that Krishna will explain from the continue to explain till end of the chapter. So this chapter actually establishes the greatness of the devotees also. So we'll see these more qualities tomorrow also. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So any comments from anyone?
Prabhuji.
Ah,
Is it true that many times our bad qualities appear according to the situation? Like before, we don't know that this qualities appears on in us, but when we go in such situation, then we get to know, no, this bad qualities are there in us. This thing happen.
yes, because these anarthas are also in different stages, in different situations, right, in our mind. So when that particular situation occurs, then that anartha appears. Right? So for example, uh, if somebody is used to drink, so say drinking alcohol, he has that habit. So, but if he's in temple, he may think of that sometimes, but because of the social situation, that anartha will not come up. He will not start drinking anything in temple because of the social. But if he goes outside and some restaurant where he can drink, that situation, that anartha will come up and he will drink. So based on the situation, the anarthas come up. And that's how they are stored in the Kuta. There is one this shloka, right? I don't remember that when we do a activity, there are a lot of consequences of that activity. So if we do a bad activity, we get the immediate result is one thing. But by doing a good activity, we create a tendency to do that activity again. And that remains in our mind in the bija stage, like a seed. And so whenever the similar situation comes, then that will again trigger and we may act in the same way. So that's how it works, a cycle of activities. And that's how it binds us every time.
So Prabhuji, as you said that if that situation appears again, then that triggers. So many times that trigger only, like we again go back into the same cycle. So how to stop that triggering thing?
Yeah, so that's why, like, if you remember Satyadev Prabhu's teachings, he always tells you have to break the chain. So now, if I know in this particular situation, my natural reaction will be so and so. if I observe this 3 times and 3 times I do that mistake, I have to remember that. uh, and I have to just don't think of the past, but we should face every time the same situation in a new way, like it is a new challenge. If we face the same situation from considering the past, then um, we will do the same activity. So we have to look every problem as a fresh every situation as a fresh situation, not the same situation. It's complicated, right? Technical, but yeah. So in Bhagavatam also there is a word used like fresh intelligence. So what is fresh intelligence? That intelligence which does not work based on the past experiences. So everything that comes in front of us is a new situation, is a new happening, and we approach that situation with a fresh intelligence, based on the current situation, not on the past. And that way, actually, we can approach the same situation in a new way. And then we break the chain of this action and reaction, same action, same reaction. Actually, it's a practice. It may not happen once. Sometimes it will happen 10%, we do same mistake. Again, the same situation comes, we improve a little bit. Then again, we improve. So it's a chain of uh, practice is required to overcome this.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Understood. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll see more qualities from the next verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.